Happy Friday, y'all. Just a quick shout out, of course, to The Midnight for that opening song. You just heard America Online, one of my favorite LA vibes. And be sure to check out The Midnight wherever you get your music from. Now, welcome back. Of course, we are joined with The Biscuits with Bosses. It's the live podcast where we get to know leaders in the film and television industry over a spot of tea. Although today this is a big freaking spot. I'm of course your host, Kay Ross, writer, filmmaker, founder of Owl Echo Entertainment. With me today, as always, my co-host, my Ed McMahon, my East Coast buddy, Mr. Matt York. How are you doing, Mr. Matt?
Doing great, doing great. Thanks so much. And thank you everyone for coming in today, joining us, watching us live. Let us know in the chat, what are you drinking? What's in the mug today? We'll be getting to that question real soon. But first, I want to give a quick shout out to Restream. It's what we use to go streaming. We're only on 3 sites right now, but you can get to like over 30 platforms all at once. You can do these cool ticker tapes. You can do QR codes. You can do so much cool stuff. So if you're in the mood for starting your own live stream, please be sure to start today with Restream. Thanks for Restream for letting us do this.
Right. Now, of course, before we get to our special guest for today, I also want to give a quick shout out to today's sponsors, brought to you in part by Off Duty Thanks Leisure Apparel. It's the most comfortable way to connect yet respect others in the film and television industry. And of course, by Production Value Software by Gemini Crown Tech. But of course, more from our sponsors a little bit later. For now, we're just going to leave those links in the chat. And actually, we just discovered this QR code function. Again, thanks, Restream. There's always cool things to discover when we're doing live streams. Like, hey, let's make it easier for people to like engage with our sponsors. So thanks for those QR codes. But again, we'll get into more of that information later because we know the real reason you're here is to meet our very, very special guest. With me today, Kelsie McDonald, an Australian English actress, writer, producer. She's based in Los Angeles. She holds an MFA in acting from the prestigious Guildford School of Acting in the UK. Just a little bit jelly there. And her career has taken her across the globe, from Australia to the UK, US, and Mexico. See, yes, she speaks surprisingly good Spanish. And someday we'll make this program bilingual, but right now I'm still very embarrassed to actually speak Spanish. Kelsey is also the founder and CEO of People Power Pictures. It's a company dedicated to championing female-driven narratives and cross-cultural stories. Her work blends humor, heart, and healing, often shining a light on the messy but beautiful resilience of the human spirit. Performing and creating internationally, Kelsey is driven by a mission to elevate bold, diverse, and independent voices in film and television. I knew there was a reason I liked you. Such a boss-ass bitch. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. How fun.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for being here.
All right. Clearly, we have to start with, what is everybody drinking today? She even brought the front mug. Okay, what's in the mushroom mug?
What's really funny about this is I don't really do drugs, but I love mushrooms. So maybe it looks like I'm a big druggie, but fun and game. I actually like eating, what do they call them in Spanish? Changas or something? I don't even know. But I'm drinking coffee today because I'm a literal addict. I know that I probably should be having just a cup of English breakfast tea or something. That's what my mum would have been drinking. But it's what time is it? It's 12:30, so it's coffee o'clock.
It is coffee o'clock.
Yeah. It is.
Wait, indeed. Cheers. So wait, is your mother English? Is that why she would be reinforcing where's your tea?
So my mum was Australian, but her parents were both English, and they both caught I think the story is it was a £1 boat ticket over from England to populate the new country back in the day.
Wow.
So yeah. So she was very she sounded Australian, but she had a lot of English tendencies. Like she'd have about 13 cups of English breakfast tea a day. And I have about 13 cups of coffee. Just acclimatizing to the American way,
That's great.
Matt, what are you drinking today, sir?
I'm also drinking coffee because I'm an addict. It's 3:30 p.m. where I am, and this is my second cup. So, but yeah, just coffee with a little bit of cream or a little bit of sugar. Okay, what are you drinking?
Classic. I couldn't find my Irish breakfast, so I did my mother's milk, which is just the geekiest version of chai that is out there. And every time I say it, I get that snicker. I heard you.
Well, I was like, it kind of sounded like you said udder's milk, and I was like, well, I'm pretty sure that's where milk comes from.
So that everybody can see it. Mother's milk. It's a Firefly reference. Yeah, like I said, geeky teas. And Firefly, of course, was that ancient. No, it's not that ancient. Sci-fi series, because the tea is from geeky teas. So of course they're gonna name their teas after geeky things. Yeah.
Oh, I really want to try that. Also, I love me a chai.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice bit of
Okay,
flavor.
next time we're doing this whole recording from your house.
Look, just manifesting it, putting it out there. The intention of the show was always to be like in person, but it does limit you as to who you can connect with. So for now, just to keep us international, but also wouldn't it be fun to actually like sit in front of a tea cart and have some actual tea and biscuits?
This needs to happen. You could have a little studio. You could have little like fluffy microphones. Oh my gosh. Yes. Okay, I mean, we could sit in teacups that have chairs in them. And design this for you.
That's great.
Bring the teacup chairs. Okay. Clearly, we could just keep going like this. And for anybody who is with us today, just know that like we have a lot of these like coffee dates in LA and really just in the industry. If you yourself have not already had them, please just like book one with a friend today. But this happens all the time, right? Where you start to chit chat and get to know each other. And please give yourself the time to chit chat and get to know each other, because if you just dive straight into, so what is it you do? You're probably not going to see that person again anytime soon, because we're people. Let's relate to people first. So that with that in mind, Kelsey, I desperately want to get to know you better because I know you, but I don't know you. We're going to start with the Ted Lasso classic. First concert, best concert.
First concert, best concert. First concert was the Veronicas back in the day.
No.
Yes. And it was such a random story. I didn't even pay for that ticket. It was like, it was just like so random. And the best concert, oh, that's really hard. Probably Bette Midler.
Wow.
When she was wearing a mermaid tail and literally jumping around the stage singing just perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. This is going to sound terrible. I know her so well, it doesn't even occur to me to see her in concert.
Yeah,
But-
also not one that I booked. It was like really, it was like a random, my dad worked for the newspaper. He got free tickets. My mum and I went, and just, it blew our minds. But
wow.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Can we just geek out about the Veronicas for a moment? Because I freaking love Cruel. Like, it's one of the ones that I like pump up and like jam out to.
I love that you know who they are, because sometimes here I talk about the Veronicas and people are like, I don't know, like, who is that? And I'm like, I thought that was so famous everywhere, but no. But yeah, that was so cool.
And this is gonna sound terrible. I feel like the younger generation knows them better just because they're twins, right?
Yes.
And one of the twins used to date what's her name, who became Batwoman. We knew her from the Arrowverse. I can't think of her name. Ruby? Maybe her name was Ruby.
Ruby Rose?
Ruby Rose. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she's also Aussie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, so I feel like a lot of people know her because of that connection, not necessarily because of their music, but I found out about that relationship the other direction. So
right. And I was more worried about the other Veronica was dating some other actor who was on Home and Away, our famous soapy, and I had a crush on him. I think he started out on Australian Idol, and so I was always like, oh my God, like, that's my dream. I was too busy focusing on her, like, stealing the love of my life to focus on the other.
I love how this coin flipped really fast. I love you, but I envy you. Give me my man back.
Also, this man who was the love of my life, and I don't even remember this actor's name. I'm like, some guy.
The truth will out over time. to be fair, I feel like that is just, I don't know if this was a teen obsession, but I feel like that's true of every teen girl where you're just like, I had posters of you on my wall. Who are you? Like,
Oh, yeah. Did you guys ever do the thing? I'd always at girls' sleepovers when I was like, I don't know, 11. We'd blindfold ourselves and do the thing where like it's like stick the tail on the donkey, but you'd put really red lipstick on and then you'd spin your friend around and have a picture of like some attractive celebrity on the wall, maybe shirtless if you were going to be a bit wild. And then you'd have to like try and find his lips and kiss the poster. And it was so funny if you like accidentally kissed his bicep or something, you know. Was that a
That's
game?
hilarious.
Or was that just an Australian thing?
I've seen that in media, but I haven't known anyone to do. I don't know. I don't know if anyone I would know would talk about that either. You know, like just casually in school the next day. Oh yeah, and my friends and I tried to kiss a poster.
I don't know if I should be bragging about that.
Yeah, right. But no. I mean, that's cool. That's cute. I didn't know anyone to do that. I didn't have friends like that.
I think we should bring it back. Let's have a party, guys. Get some tequila in us and kiss some posters.
I'm actually going to share before I forget. Maybe we'll play ourselves out to it, but that's the link to "Cruel" by the Veronicas on Spotify, so that if we can have a little like exit music, it'd be really cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to second that. I feel, to be fair, the one and only time I ever played Spin the Bottle, I was like, does anyone play this in real life? What just happened? So, you know, there's always at least that one incident where you're like, I'm playing a silly game. Who knew that anybody did this in real life? But it'll be a great story for later.
I feel like only the cool people played Spin the Bottle. Like I was playing Kiss the Poster because no boys were wanting to play Spin the Bottle with me, you know?
Okay.
But now that I'm this age, does anyone want to play Spin the Bottle?
I want to see that skit now. That's like spin the bottle at every age, right? When you're a teenager, like, right? And then in your 20s and your 30s, your 40s, your 50s. Like, how does it change?
Oh,
Anyway.
70-year-olds playing Spin the Bottle would be the best thing ever.
Right?
That would make a fun short film. We should write this.
Y'all,
Great.
This is where magic is happening.
My birthday, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be like, all right, everybody come to my house. We're playing the game that I never got to play when I was 10.
Yeah, it'd be like a reverse 17 again. I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, I'll be calling you in. My math is bad. Many years.
I'll be here.
Great.
Oh, look. All right, just because we promised a lightning round, which I love when it's not, because it means that the conversation is organic, and this is great. There's like proof that we're gonna do this short now. All right, I've only got 3 more for you.
Okay.
Clearly, we are all Ted Lasso fans here, but if you were to choose a favorite character, who would it be?
Absolutely, Danny Rojas.
Oh, you're us, Danny.
Football is life, even though I really have no interest in sports, but he is very endearing and also a very dear friend of mine. So he's my favorite, but also I have to say that.
I mean,
no, but he is my favorite.
Yeah, I was like,
he's the best. Who doesn't want that vibe in their life all the time? Like, so smart, so friendly.
Yeah.
Good vibes all the time. He has many girlfriends, apparently, according to the last episode. Oh, am I giving things away? Spoilers. Sorry, guys, if you haven't seen the last episodes.
No, if people have not seen Ted Lasso all the way through, that is on them. Like,
that's true. That's true.
It is a treasure. You should be watching that multiple times a year.
Oh, yeah. I have a friend that literally, I think she's probably watched every episode 100 times.
Wow.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think some part of it's just the timing of it. Like, I didn't see it in the first year it came out, but I saw it shortly after that, its release. And the timing of it is why it became digestible, right? Not just because it itself is digestible, but we needed that as like a heart nutrient. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
I mean, honestly, I think we still need more of that.
Yes. All right, we're putting out an order, whether we can fulfill it or not. We need more. When's the next Ted Lasso coming out? Not even just like season 4, but like when are the other series?
Yeah.
Actually, what would you be your equivalent be? Because for me, I'm like The Good Place. But like, what
Oh yeah, The Good
What's
Place. I think Shrinking also.
Mm,
Yeah.
Shrinking's a good one.
There's a few things. Like, have you guys seen oh gosh, what is it called? Trying? It's an English show.
I haven't seen Trying. I know of it, but I haven't seen it.
Add it to the list. It's so sweet. It's about this couple who are basically in the very, very first episode, they're trying for a baby and then they can't have a baby naturally. And so they are trying to adopt. And the whole first season is about them trying to adopt. And it's just so sweet. And so it's like kind of similar, like uplifting, like real but quirky and cute and like heartfelt, but also situationally funny vibe. And Colin
Yeah.
Counts, I think, is like that, but the Australian version.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And thank you for the reminder, because sometimes I think American audiences forget that we have ready access to international programming.
Yes.
Like, I was raised on UK shows, but even I forget, like, oh, right. Like Netflix and other such streamers that actively have, international programming. Well, let's just explore for a moment, shall we? Yeah.
And also there's some really great shows in other countries. Like Bad Sisters is
Mm,
it's Irish and it's like one of the best shows on television.
it looks good. Yeah.
Oh, so good. Also like mega hunky, my current celebrity crush on that show. So ladies, if you like your lads, then
Putting Bad Sisters on my to-do list this weekend. Thanks
there's
so
also
much.
super hot women. So actually, if you just like attractive humans, like check it out.
Right?
Yes.
All right. Since now we know about your UK connection and you currently live in LA,
Mhm.
London or LA?
Or this is like the hardest question ever because there's pros and cons to every single place. I've lived in 4 different countries, 7 different cities, and I can't say that there's like one place that's better. For my career, LA definitely has been the best. I love for my career, I love the weather and I love how warm and welcoming humans are. I think that really fits my vibe. But like London, the people there are like so loyal and they're like little caramello koalas that I just want to like, like just want to squeeze them. And the architecture is so beautiful and like something there's just like a magical energy there,
Yeah.
So I
Ah,
can't, sorry.
no, it's been forever since I've been to London, which is why I'm like, oh, I'm gonna hold that in
Yeah.
my heart until I can be there again.
Yeah.
um,
No, I love it so much. Yeah.
but I
But
feel you with the LA thing.
I think for me, I found it a lot easier to live in LA. Like
Mm.
London was amazing, but it was a grind. Whereas LA for me, I'm like work-life balance, quality of life, being able to make a living as someone pursuing very big goals in the entertainment industry. It's sort of like it feels very achievable here. Whereas sometimes in other countries, it's like, oh, like what, like where is the door to get into this world,
Yeah.
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 That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I kind of want to just pull on this thread for one more minute, which is in the industry generally, it's hard to have the work-life balance. But like, what do you feel like LA kind of has that like endorses like, hey, don't forget to have a life? Like for me, it is the fact that I can be anywhere in LA and just be like, you know what? Beach day, right? And like drive
Yeah.
an hour and just be like, I'm checking the F out. But like what's the thing in LA that really just reminds you or encourages you to like have a life?
I mean, probably that there's so much nature so close by. I mean, I live a probably 4-minute walk from Runyon Canyon. And
Ooh.
so if at any stage, even if I'm like writing, I had a broken foot recently and like really could not go very far, but I could limp to the base of Runyon Canyon and just like take a picnic rug and sit down. I'd be writing all day because I couldn't really do anything else other than sit and write. And then I'd take my 4-minute walk might take me 20 minutes hobbling there. And then I'd like sit there and just be in nature. And I think being in nature for me grounds me and reminds me of what's important in life. And reminds me to sort of stop and smell the roses. And yeah, so
Yeah.
that's for me. Also the weather. I mean, just like being encouraged to be outside. It's just
Yeah.
so awesome. And I do think people are more inclined to be like, we're having a meeting rather than going to a coffee shop or going and sitting in a bar. Why don't we go and take a yoga class? Why don't we go and have a sound bath? Like that doesn't feel like it happens in other places, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. To be fair, I think I also had to adjust to that because East Coast mentality, which I do
Oh,
think
yeah.
is very similar to London, where I'm just like, y'all, we are on the clock. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And so true story, 30-second story. The first production job I got here in LA, because I come from production, even though I'm moving into development and writing and directing. But I needed the money and I knew I could, slay it at a production coordinator job. So I'm interviewing for, just because I can, name drop, Top Gear America. The production manager is in the room with the executive in charge of production and the office PC that I'll be working with. And at some point he's like, so what is it you're hoping to do? And I was like, I'm hearing the note behind the note, which is, whose job are you trying to take over? And I was like, oh no. Yeah, so I don't actually want to even stay in production. I'm doing this because I need a paycheck and because I know I can make you look good. So if you're afraid for your jobs, please know I'm literally just here to help you succeed, and in exchange, you pay me. So is that, does that seem agreeable that I'm not going to take anybody's job? And he turns, production manager from Ohio, nonetheless, turns to the executive in production and he goes, so that's East Coast honesty. And,
Yeah.
and got the job. And I think I had to let that be eroded away just a little bit so that I could remember that East Coast honesty is really great in production, right? When you're in the grind, but anytime that the grind isn't necessary, you have to find a way to be softer and understanding and remember that we're here to do a job, but we're not saving lives, right? There's no need to put yourself at maximum risk when the reward is I get to make a movie. You know what I mean? So yeah, cheers to LA to remind us to have a freaking life.
We love you, LA. We also love you, London.
We also love you, London. It's true. Because sometimes we need to wind ourselves back up.
Take a film job over there. So, let us know.
Tom says, great point, Kelsey. Outdoors is the key.
Yeah, so good. Where do you like to go, Tom? What's your outdoor delicacy? What is wrong with my brain? What's your outdoor delicacy? Preference.
What is wrong with my brain? To be fair, this is one of the reasons I like doing things live. It's just look, none of this is going to be polished. We're just people having a drink and it's great. He figured it out. It's no big deal. Well, actually, and thank you, Lane. Yes, it's so good. I just want to kind of move on to our victory round, because one of the things I love about the getting to know you questions is that we invariably dive a little deeper. And for anybody who's in the audience that wants to celebrate a victory from their week as well, please leave it in the chat. But please remember that when we ask for a victory from this past week, maybe you won a contest, which is really cool. But the victory we want to celebrate is the fact that you finished the thing in the first place and submitted it, right? That's your effort, and that effort can be duplicated. So by all means, celebrate the win that other people are recognizing, but we're here for the win behind the win. So with that in mind, Kelsey, is there any victory from this past week you want to celebrate?
Yeah, I mean, this past week has been really exciting for me because I've had 3 different film projects that I've been working on in 1 week, as in other people's projects that I've just come in as an actor, which is so nice to not have to do all the work of writing and producing and all of that stuff. But this is the week that I officially have begun pre-production on both my upcoming short film that I wrote and I will star in, and also in a TV pilot, which I co-wrote with my friend Liz Zagoni, who's an amazing stand-up comedian and writer and actress. and we're teaming up with the Espectromekis team, which is Cristo Fernandez's production company, to bring that to life as well. And the goal is to have, and we're currently locking in locations to shoot both of those by the end of this year.
Yeah.
And this is kind of scary for me because I am an actress first and foremost. Then the next thing I feel the most comfortable in is writing projects that other people often take off my hands and I can just act in them. But these two projects, I really, really want a big hand in how they come to life on the screen. And so I'm really heavily producing both of these, like very much with other incredible producers, but I'm doing also a lot of the work. And so it's kind of scary. And I'm proud of myself for having had a broken foot for most of this year and been on and off crutches, been in 4 different moon boots and casts and like in and out of the hospital. And like, I didn't know if these were going to come to life. And they are, even though I'm still in rehab on my foot, they're still going to happen because I don't have to be doing, you know, running and things that I can't do right now. So I'm proud of myself for being like, no, even with that very tricky thing holding me back, I'm not going to let it hold me back, you know?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cheers to that.
Cheers. Oh, love it. Chin chin. What about you guys?
Matt, do you want to go next?
Sure. Yeah. So this week I published the final episode of my video game series that I do. I played through an old video game called Uncharted on the hardest difficulty. And this like is like notorious for like just not getting completed by people. It has a very low percentage rate. And so I filmed the whole thing and I, you know, recorded it, and I've had several episodes of this series. And so this week I finally finished it. The game is done. The series is over. The grand total is 1,365 times I died in this game for this trophy, which is crazy. But I don't know if I'm glad I did it, but I'm glad I did the series. You know, I'm glad I have started this series and I've kept with it because it's something I've wanted to do for a while and like actually make videos about, but didn't really know what I was doing. Like this is kind of my first time making like real videos, you know? So like the first episode compared to this one looks way different because I was, you know, I mean, I know how to edit. Like I've been an editor for a while, but like creating my own thing and understanding how I want this to look and how I want this to feel and stuff. And not just like completing it, but like I'm really proud of how it has come out, you know, and how like it looks and how it feels and what this means for the rest of my channel. So I've been really happy with how the video came out, and check it out if you get a chance.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Right. The full mug.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Good.
Okay, what's your victory from this week?
Oh, God. Yeah. So it's hard for me to claim sometimes when I'm like still in the thick of it, but I had a thought on it because I think it would be easy to be like, I announced publicly what my goal is, and good golly, that means that people can see whether or not I fail, and that's scary as fuck. So my like public victory is that I put my flag in the ground and said, this is where I want to go. I think my private victory is that I asked for help. Because I also have a hard time doing that. I'm very much a multi-hyphenate, meaning like if things are not moving, I'll just fucking do it myself. Which means that I'm often missing opportunities to grow and build because I'm not asking for help. And fully acknowledging that I can't have it both ways anymore, right? I can't aim high and also do everything. And honestly, this whole process of even doing this, right, and having a team and having a co-host, like this has helped me to remember I don't have to do this alone. So as I announced, hey, I want to finance the thing that I am writing and directing, so that I can continue building on my directing career. I reached out to a friend who is a manager, not mine, but a manager. And I was like, so, hey, the next big step for me is kind of handing the materials I have to potential talent to secure a letter of intent. And I'm a little afraid because behind the scenes, I know I can do good work, but there's no barrier between the work I do and the person I'm handing off to. So just for my perfectionist mindset, could I hand it to you just for us to kind of like talk through or workshop, or like even just a little bit of feedback or encouragement, so that it's not just I make it and then hand it off for ultimate risk and reward, right? I just need some perspective. And she was like, sure, not a problem. Like, let's get together this weekend. I was like, oh, okay, thanks. Like, it seemed like a really simple thing, but it was really hard for me to ask. So, which is funny because in that same conversation, she was like, good on you for reaching out to the actor in the first place to even ask to send the materials. And I was like, so that part isn't hard for me because I'm a producer. I can ask as the live long day. What I can't do, or what I have a harder time doing, is getting over what I then have to submit to them, because I'm also a writer and I get really like shy and like protective and like, please like me. Yeah. So that's my 1-2 punch. Yes, I claimed my intention, but I also asked for help so that I could actually make it happen.
Go you. That's
Cheers to that as well.
awesome. Cheers.
Thank you so much.
Hey.
You guys are great.
That's great. And to help celebrate some audience victories,
Yes.
Tom is back. He says, I had a small win, revisited 4 of their aging scripts, revised them, developed whole new pitch decks for them, and they're rolling all them out on LinkedIn. But a bigger win is that they're now working closely with a Greek producer for their script, A Motive to Die For, set near Athens. Overall, they're feeling positive.
Yes.
Congratulations, Tom.
Cheers, Tom. Yeah.
Cheers, Tom. That's fantastic.
Congrats.
And if you guys don't know Tom Stahlgren, fantastic writer, definitely hit him up on LinkedIn. Great guy. Sorry, I always feel the need to actually take a sip, because if I don't, it's like the tequila thing, right? You drop it down, you have your shot. Like, you should actually fulfill the cheers.
Yes.
Yeah, it's bad luck if you don't.
We're out of coffee, so now we're on to water. This is the backup.
Oh man. Well, speaking of staying hydrated, I just want to make sure that everybody has the down and the low for our sponsors before we dive into our final portion of Biscuits with Bosses, because of course we want to get down to business. But before we do, a quick message from our sponsors. First, are you looking for a more organic way to make new connections in the film and television industry? Lord knows I am. Off Duty Thanks is an apparel collection that offers the most comfortable apparel you can wear while enjoying non-negotiable time off. Going out with friends or family and you keep getting asked for pictures, maybe even signatures, well, the original Off Duty Thanks apparel is the perfect permission slip for expressing gratitude while respecting boundaries. But let's say you're off duty, but you're still open to making connections. This is where you would wear the artist-specific collections to start the conversation. Just grab that contact info, and then you can get back to your loved ones and your precious time off. Now, every purchase is also giving 5% directly to the Entertainment Community Fund, once known as the Actors Community Fund, which, for those of you who don't know, is a fantastic organization that gives back to the entire industry. So not only can you purchase these to help yourself, you're also giving back to the entire filmmaking community. And of course, as a special thank you for tuning in to Biscuits with Bosses, all you have to do is use code BWBTY10 at checkout for 10% off your complete order, or just click the link in the video description below. Or the QR code. Oh my God, I'm so excited. And just in case you're not sure how to engage with people in your off-duty time, every order comes with a small guide and suggested scripts so you can connect quickly but respectfully. Last but not least, we also have Production Value Software, actually our original sponsor. Now, if you're an independent producer like myself or a content creator, then you know how difficult it is to stay organized. Production Value is the only program that keeps all of your project's material together from development to delivery, including, but not limited to, a checklist at every stage. This is just to make sure you don't miss a thing. Now, for more information, clearly you can check out that link in the chat, and you do receive 10% off with our special code BWBosses. Yeah, just lining everybody up for success. It's so exciting. Speaking of success, I feel like this is the part where I really always like to dig deep with our bosses and talk about the future of filmmaking. So, just big picture, Kelsey, like, what is it that you feel like you have been doing through your process, especially as a writer producer, to help elevate the future of filmmaking?
It's a really good question. I feel like my mission with People Power Pictures is to really, really zone in on and tell stories from perspectives that aren't necessarily always given a voice on camera. And I feel like because I've lived in, I've been lucky enough to live in 4 different countries for various different reasons. I feel like there are so many, people always say, oh, every story's been told. Every story's been told before. And I totally disagree. I mean, when you really get in there and talk to different people and have I've met so many people along the way in all different walks of life, all different fields, all different ages, all different life situations. And I mean, everyone has a pretty amazing story to tell. And every one of those stories is very unique. And so I think that Hollywood can often, or has historically, focused on particular lenses with which to tell those stories through. And I want to focus on some of the other, some of those other glasses, some of those other lenses to view life. And I think I personally am of a mindset that this kind of probably sounds stupid, but no, it doesn't. This is my mission since I was a child, that I have always been obsessed with magic. And as a child, I made this bag out of a little skirt that I turned in, a little denim skirt that I turned into a handbag. And I'd written a poem called I Am a Magic Hunter. And it was all about how I wanted to, my mission in life was to find magic in every place and to share the magic that I find with other people, so that the world can be ultimately a better place, a more loving place, a more accepting place. And I think, honestly, as an adult, that's still what I want to do with filmmaking. And that's why I started People Power Pictures, because I want to make people feel good. I want to share stories that inspire people and make people want to understand ways that different people live and be more empathetic and be interested in other people and ultimately live better, more fulfilled, happier, more joyous lives. And I think that also of late, I had a bit of a revelation that I'd really like to be a woman who represents a real woman, in a way of I want young girls or women of every age to be able to flick on the TV and identify with, I see myself in this person, and celebrating the beauty that people were born with, and the wrinkles that I'm starting to get, and the dimples on my chin that I'm getting with age. And that's something that I think is really beautiful and sometimes not celebrated. Sometimes it's the opposite in this industry. And I'd like to create space for that to be something for aging and loving and representing true authenticity of how I was just put on this earth with this body, so that other women can also look at that and be like, oh, great. I see myself, rather than everything being so perfect and looking so, a particular way all the time. I don't know if I'm wording that quite the way that I want to. I guess I need to practice how to say what I'm trying to do.
Not at all. This is that. I mean, if this is your practice run, well done.
Right. I'm glad it came across.
I mean, first off, let's make the story of the little girl happen, because that would be a great like children's book or like short film, or like we just need to make that happen. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
But also if I hear you correctly, I feel like, and I totally identify with this, so hopefully I'm getting it, which is there are two sides to the showing up authentically coin. And one side of that is I'm going to show up as myself authentically in order to invite other people to show up authentically. But the only way I know whether or not they are is on the other side of the coin, helping them show up, right? And actually making space for their stories as well.
Mm.
And I, the buzzword of being an ally is thrown around a lot, but I think the seed, right, the core of allyship really is making space for someone else's advocacy, right?
Yeah.
And so I love, does that, if that sounds right, like I love that perspective of my mission is to show up authentically as myself so that I can help other people show up authentically as themselves.
Yeah, I love that. I should
Yeah.
write that down so I can actually have that come out of my mouth when I'm next on a podcast.
I'm not like a fortune teller, but I feel like I'm gonna see you on other interviews in the future, and it will come up again. I feel sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No, it's I feel like also it's an interesting thing. I don't know if you feel the same with your company, but I feel like I'm constantly evolving in what I'm trying to do with this company. Because at first it started out, everything was like, I want it all female driven. And I still tell a lot of female forward stories and have a lot of I still have a lot of women on my teams, but I also then like I'm telling I've got a bilingual rom-com coming out hopefully early next year, which is my first feature that I co-wrote, co-star and co-produce with the Espectro Mekis team, which is really exciting. But like that's a bilingual story, and it's there's a lot about immigration in there and language barriers and two people trying to make, like love between two people that like are totally speaking different languages, don't fully understand each other or each other's cultures, but they still somehow try and, make this relationship work. And so that's really interesting to me. And after having lived in Guadalajara, Mexico for so long, like there's so many stories that I'd love to be able to help tell about, Guadalajara and Mexico. And yeah, there's so many sort of stones that have not been overturned yet. And I just like anyone who says the stories, they're all done. Like that's crazy to me. Like come see me because I have too many. I need to live till I'm 500 to tell them all. Like somebody come help me take some of them off my hands. Or give me a lot of money to make all of the films, please.
Yeah.
And thank you.
I heard the note behind the note. Either buy them from me or fund them with me. So yeah, I feel you. Yeah, man. And cheers to that, because I feel like in our pre-show, one of the things you mentioned was, building community and working together and rising together. And I feel like this is such a specific version of that, because anybody can say that, really, like, and a lot of people do say it. And then sometimes when you put that to practice, a lot of that falls apart under agendas. Cool.
Yeah.
It happens. Hashtag the industry. But I think what I hear you say is when I'm moving forward with my company and I'm revising and reinventing and leveling up within the company, I get better and better at figuring out what it is I'm going to focus on within my community so that we can rise together. And if I may, that's okay, because I've heard the other end of those people who are like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I don't know, but I'm going to keep doing it until I know. Like, you know
but
what
I
I
think
mean?
sometimes you just have to like, sometimes in life, at least my experience is you get this, like, I'm doing this. I don't know if you've ever heard of To Be Magnetic, but it's like a manifestation course. Anyway, I'm loving it. It's also just very much about, understanding they use the term pings, which is basically like a gut instinct. And so sometimes I feel like for the longest time I had this gut instinct that I needed to act. And I just was like, oh, I need to act. Why? And people would always ask me, why do you want to do this? Like, it's a very hard industry. Like, why don't you want to just do something a bit more, something that maybe makes a bit more sense financially. And I was like, I don't know why I have to do this thing, but I have to do this thing. But it's then you follow that gut instinct. And then by following that ping, then you start to understand why, because you're doing the thing. And then you have the revelations and the light bulb moments of, this is why I do that thing. Or, that person just came up to me after my one woman show and told me that my show made them feel seen and now they no longer feel alone. Like, that's why I felt like I had to make this one woman show that I then have to turn into a short film that I then have to pitch as a TV series. Because if this show if like this 300 people saw my one woman show when it was in Hollywood, if that one person, and actually wasn't one person, I had numerous people come up and say a similar thing to me. Let's say 30 people left feeling like, now they no longer feel alone because of this show. Then I can put it in short film festivals around the world, and maybe I can touch 300 people who no longer feel alone. And then I can get it picked up as a TV series and it's on the television all around the world. And then maybe like 30,000 people no longer feel alone. And then that's when you start to realize, okay, this is why I do what I do. And this is part of my mission statement. So I think that maybe is like, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to know exactly why we're doing what we're doing, why we're doing it, and when we're doing it, right away. But I think it's okay to discover that along the way.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, absolutely.
That was a bit of a monologue. Sorry, guys.
No.
Somebody else can take over.
Bring it. This is why you're here. We want you to talk. I do, because I want to make sure people know more about, what you're promoting right now. But before we get there, because I just want to pull on this one little thread, because I do feel like you must have some part of that magic bag with you still. I don't know if you know this, but we did not actually originally meet at the LA Directors Lab. I know you know this because we were talking about it earlier, but I want to show you the picture nonetheless, because it's so fun to be like, remember that moment right there. So it was a private screening of one of my short films, and that handsome dude off to the right is Ben Mayer. Next to him is Carolina Alvarez, who I knew first and then met Pam. And then because I knew Pam, I knew about your one woman show. And so when I was like, invite everybody, and Ben was like, well, I know this really cool actress, and he mentioned you, I was like, holy shit, I know Kelsey, invite her. So the thread intersected and the timing worked out, and you showed up to this random person's screening. And I was so touched, right? Because you don't know us. You didn't have to show up, but you did. And you
it
just
was a great screening. I'm so glad that you invited me. I loved it.
Aw, I'm so glad. And thank you for saying so, because the sound was not ideal, but thank you.
I don't remember anything about the sound being not ideal. Really? I remember being very, very impressed by it and being like, God, I wish that I knew these people before. I wish I could have hit them up to let me audition for this project,
Right? Well, and the next time we do anything action oriented, you know me now, so let's do a thing.
I'm in.
I mean, 70-year-old spin the bottle is clearly in the future.
Do something before we turn 70, please, because that's a little while to wait. Our lifetimes again.
But just for the people in the audience, I would love kind of your 2 cents on, since we talked about work-life balance and that you have this kind of sixth sense for creating magic and just being present with magic. When do you listen to your intuition, and when do you okay, I need to focus on myself and make time for my life?
Yeah, I think I'm still finding that balance and still learning, because sometimes when we're working on set on a project or various projects and you're going just every second that you're not asleep and you're not sleeping enough, it's do I give myself 2 hours sleep rather than 3 hours sleep tonight so that I can do a Pilates session and meditate and journal out my feelings? No, I'm going to sleep that extra hour for, my body. But I am learning that for example, this last week's been really busy with a lot of different projects, and I love watching television. I love watching films because obviously that's what we make. So I want to be watching it. But this last week, I've been so busy with other things that I have known for my own mental health and just like to give me the energy that I need to really feel amazing, like a good amount of the time. I
Yeah.
need to be doing my stuff, which is at the moment, I love doing Pilates. I love like just in my room, I listen to the Move with Nicole videos on YouTube, and she's amazing. And then I do my little half an hour Pilates. I love doing a little journal and a little manifestation meditation or just meditation daily if I can, with my little fairy lights on and like my little headphones on that just like drown out all the noise, and just lay here on this little thing, folds out like comfy little squishy yoga thing. And so I've been giving up my like, half an hour or 40 minutes where I'd normally watch a show before bed, and being like, no, Kelsey, you're going to do your meditation. You're going to do your journal instead, because that's going to benefit you more at the moment in right now than just like falling asleep to the television. And so I'm trying to be better at making those choices. And then, when time opens up and I have a bit more time, great, awesome. I can like give myself that treat of watching TV. But like at the moment, whilst things are busy, I'm instead treating my body and my mind to something that's going to make me feel good. But that's hard. That's harder to do. Definitely. Like sometimes I have to, like, literally, this was what I wrote myself for this morning, that I have to have this sitting.
Yes, share. I love this.
I literally, and I've written this the last 3 days. Why do I need to write it again? All it says is 30 mins Move with Nicole. That's it. But otherwise, and I put my exercise gear on the floor. So I get out of bed and I'm like, oh God, I guess like I don't even have to think. I just put it on and I do it. But if I don't write myself a note, then I might not do it. I might just sit and scroll on, I don't know, Bumble or something, like what am I doing? No, get up, do Move with Nicole and meditate. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, I love it. And to be fair, it was a bridge question, because now I want to put the two together. Like we had kind of like the producer question and then the life question, because one of the hardest things I think about moving into the producer role is remembering that your decisions affect other people. And so I'm curious, just as you've been moving into this producer role, like, what decisions have you been faced with where you're like, oh, let me think about that, because I know if I, say, yeah, let's do 14-hour days instead of 12-hour days, I know who that affects and what it does to them, right? Like, or if I choose this location that's 2 hours away, right, I know how it affects other people. So like, I'm just curious, like, now that you have the producer hat on, like, what have you been kind of filtering, and what kind of decisions have you been making to help other people have their life too?
Yeah, that's a really interesting one. I feel like it's really important to me not to push people too hard. I don't know how to put this. I've been on sets on indie productions before, even like, when I was doing real indie things back in Australia back in the day, or when I was stuck in Mexico for 14 months of the pandemic. And so during the pandemic, there was a lot of like, let's just like all muck together and make some indie films. But like some of those sets, like, no joke. And this is before I became union. So like now, I'm not having this anymore. But there were some sets, I did a 22-hour day.
Oh God.
And we were truly getting like 4 hours sleep between every shoot day on that set. And I don't, like, you stop enjoying what you're doing and you stop enjoying making the art. And I make the art because I want it to feel good. I want that community. I want to make something beautiful. And I think if you're pushing people like that, they're not going to enjoy it. And also feeding people, like, it's so fun. The thing that popped into my mind when you said this, I was doing up budgets, or a very loose like allocation for the budget for the short film yesterday. And I was like, I had a particular amount for the catering allocation. And then I was like, absolutely not. We're going to throw in another 300 because like a happy crew, a fed crew is a happy crew, is a crew that's going to make some magic. So
yeah.
True.
no, it's so important. So important. And I look at my friends, like I was on set with Pam yesterday, no, the day before. And she was just like telling me about her schedule. And I'm like, man, like how does she have time to do any of the things? And then I was like, oh, one day, now I'm manifesting this, one day when People Power Pictures is at the level that I want it to be at, like I'm literally going to run Pilates sessions and like fitness sessions and meditation sessions before we even start shooting. Like it's not going to be mandatory. If people want to go, they can. If they don't want to go, awesome, that's fine, like sleep in. But I'm going to give my crew and my cast that kind of experience every day as an option, because it makes people more productive. It makes people happier. It makes us enjoy the journey. Like it's also bonding. So I don't know why nobody does that. If anyone's welcome to steal that from me, you can start that before People Power Pictures does. You're welcome. Just cast me, please.
Run with it and bring me along. Yes.
But I just think it's so important, like mental health and physical health. It's all connected. And if we are only on this earth for a limited amount of time, let's enjoy the time that we're here.
Yeah, absolutely. Cheers to that. And of course, now that we've talked about some truly horrendous situations, I feel like the one thing you maybe are looking forward to is your upcoming one-woman show, which we do have a link for your fundraising, which it sounds like you've already got the initial funds, but you know, who doesn't want more? It's like the Aaron Brockovich mentality, right? Where it's like, you got so many friends in this world, you couldn't use one more. Like, come on, guys. So we'll leave that link there for you so that if you guys are interested in helping out, clearly we'd love to be part of your team, Kelsey, as well. But do you want to tell us a little bit about your one-woman show turned short?
Yeah, so this one-woman show is it's a 1 hour. It started as a 1 hour theatre show that was about very much based on my life as an Australian actress in waiting tables in a Hollywood restaurant on the most insane shift of her life. It's a comedy. I used the 3,821 there that we raised to take the show off Broadway earlier this year for my off-Broadway debut. And now it's been developed into a short film, which we are going to be shooting in December, which I'm very, very excited about. And so we originally aimed for a $40,000 budget for this, and we've got 10 to make it. So we will make it super indie, and we've got a lot of people that are happy to get on board and just want to make some art as, friends, and, doing it super indie. But any extra bit of donation is just going to make the project even better. So yeah, if anyone wants to get involved, we would love that. And so the actual crowdfunding campaign has ended, but people can still donate to the project, which is very
that's fantastic.
exciting. Yeah.
Which I know that you have another thing going that the trailer is not available, so you can't share it. But that means for those of you who have enjoyed your getting to know your time with Kelsey, please, please, please follow her on Instagram at Kelsie Actor. Is that right? Yes.
Yeah.
And of course, her company at People Power Pictures. The reason that you want to follow right now, though, is because tune in for when that trailer is available, because it's super exciting and it's coming soon.
Well, I've got a few projects coming out soon. I've got actually like 3 or 4 short films that are pretty exciting that'll be released. I mean, they're not mine as such, but they will be coming out soon, and I star in them, which is very exciting. And yeah, you know how the film world works. You sort of never know until it happens, but they're all coming soon. And then my bilingual rom-com is coming out probably early next year, but the trailer I think should be released soon. And the trailer is so cute. I cannot wait to share it. So follow me, because I always post all of the things that I'm doing. And yeah, there's a lot coming out very soon.
Yeah, man. Oh, I'm so excited.
Thanks. Me too.
Love to have you back on when that comes out.
Oh, I'd love that. Yeah, please. And hopefully we'll have some, well, not hopefully, there will be premieres. So there will also be events so we can catch up in person.
Yes, premiere. More reasons to dress up and have fun.
Oh, we love a reason to dress up.
Yeah.
Oh, this is another great thing about LA. There's so many events. I'm like, yes. Thrifting has become my favorite thing to do because you just buy a million ball gowns for no reason for like $30. And then you're like, oh, sorry, what? We have a glamorous black tie event to go to. Sure, no worries. We've got that previously thrifted ball gown.
Makes sense.
I may have to take you on that next trip because I am terrible at finding good stuff when
Right.
thrift shopping.
I'm in and I'm the queen of it. So
I love it. All right. And thank you so much, Kelsey, for being here today. I just want to make sure everybody, we're here every Friday, 12:30 p.m. Next week, we are going to be joined by Emily Skye of She Wolf Films, fantastic director who is actually premiering her second Tubi feature. So be sure to stop in so you can learn not just about her previous one, which is Married to Abala, but Married to Abala 2, which is coming out on Tubi shortly. And before you go, because I did promise you a very special something, and we'll make sure you have the very special something. Back by popular demand, I will be hosting my StoryMath workshop. It's actually next Saturday, 10/11. It starts at 10 a.m. It is virtual, so regardless of where you are from around the world, you can still join. And since next month, yes, we're currently in October, so next month is November, it is still National Novel Writing Month. And I would like to point that out because for anyone who's like, but NaNoWriMo.org is gone. Yes, it is. But if you still want to get your page count in, or if you were trying to knock out, say, a screenplay, this is the time to organize your thoughts. So join me on my workshop. I will happily help you. And of course, if you need a little guidance through the workshop, even though the workshop is free, you can still purchase my worksheets for just $15. Last but certainly not least, if by chance working with me online is not enough, you can also work with me in person. I have a writing retreat coming up in November. It's in Lake Arrowhead, and I believe there's still a couple of tickets left. So feel free to click that link, check it out, see if you can join me in November. Other than that, I feel like, and you're right, Kelsey, I think moving forward, we're actually going to let's actually have biscuits with our tea. It just doesn't seem quite right to have biscuits with bosses and not actually have biscuits.
I agree. You know, I nearly did bring a packet of Tim Tams up from the kitchen, but my problem is unless we're in person, I can't eat that whole packet to myself, but I will.
But I
so
will.
I'm not cracking it open because I'll eat them all. So unless we're together.
Well, all right. So the last manifestation. Here's to biscuits with bosses with real biscuits.
Yes, and in person. Woo!
Let's
and
do
in
it.
person. All right, y'all. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next Friday.
Thanks so much for having me, guys. You're amazing. We'll see you soon.
Of course. Have a good weekend, everyone.